Friends, Malika Semper here from Malika Semper Astrology. Um, my brain just left the building for a moment. Here I am. So I want to talk about the full moon coming up. So we have a full moon in Libra happening this weekend. Yes, Saturday, April 12th. She will become her fullest. She will peak at 5:22 p.m. Pacific time, and she's peaking at 23 degrees of Libra. So we always look to see where 23 degrees of Libra is in the chart then, and where it lands, what house it lands in, that's going to be the area of life that is going to be illuminated, affected, lit up by this particular full moon. So if you know your houses, or you could just Google what house it lands in, those will be the topics of discussion or the topics that are in the forefront for you during this particular full moon phase. So a full moon in Libra, let's talk about it. We have a focus now on relationships, our need for partnership, our need for connection with others, our personal relationships come into play. Now, with the full moon, the sun is always in its very opposite sign. So the sun is in Aries and the full moon is in Libra. So now we have this Aries Libra axis, this ping pong energy, if you will, between independence and autonomy, Aries, versus compromise and leaning into others. So those themes will come into play, but the focus is really on partnerships and relationships with this full moon in Libra. You know, there's an essence of wanting to create balance within partnership. It's very like equality based. So there is a desire or a requirement for fair play, for things being equal with this particular full moon. And as with all full moons, you know, the moon represents our emotions, our feelings, our private life. And when she's full in the sky, those emotions tend to get heightened. And sometimes it feels like, you know, what might normally not be a big deal becomes a big deal under a full moon sky because everything just feels more intense, more passionate, more heightened. Now, Libra is an air sign. Libra is not necessarily an emotional archetype. So when the full moon is in Libra, we also tend to be very heady because Libra is very intellectual. It's air. So we tend to be in our head a lot and we're thinking about the story, we're thinking about the scenario. But with it being the full moon, we're also feeling it at the same time. So major focus on relationships. There can be some, you know, with a full moon, there's something that has come into culmination. So something that has come to completion, something that has reached its full cycle in your life. Again, look at the house it lands in. That will give you a clue for the topic of this full moon for you personally. And, you know, it's important to recognize what comes up for you during a full moon because it's often a signature of what actually is done, is complete, and is ready to be let go of so that you can make room for something new. Okay. So enjoy this full moon in Libra. It's not necessarily the most emotional full moon we can have, right? It is a bit more heady. We can get stuck in the head. We can go in loops on the story, so on and so forth. But just paying attention what is in the forefront, what comes in this whole week leading up to it, and especially this weekend, what the work is for you. All right, you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week.